Everybody, welcome back. What's going on? I want to review the new banner today because I really haven't gotten a lot of time to review it or go over it. I've just been busy. I was streaming like Final Fantasy 12 like all weekend trying to get through that game. So I'm trying to see what's going on this banner. So this is the new banner here. It's the new Aerith banner. It's got a weapon, which is pretty neat. So we'll check that weapon out, and then also the gear. And from what I've seen already, she's looking like she's just even better than she was before. Aerith has already, in my opinion, been the best top tier, #1 character, whatever you want to call it, in the game. And I think this weapon just basically creates a bigger gap between her and Cloud or Sephiroth, because they're about tied for second place, I'd say. But this weapon just is absolutely insane. The gear is pretty crazy too, and I'll explain why I think it's so good. And I can understand it if you don't think it is, but here's the new gear here. It is the floral gown. Very, very cool looking. Interesting pose. It's a very, very anime pose, if you will. And so let's check out the floral wand. So floral wand deal, this is just base level, deal 260% physical non-elemental damage. It has a chance to crit. Physical defense is decreased mid. And then up to maximum of mid. This is just base level. When range self HP is above 50% or more, wind resistance is decreased starting at low, maximum of mid. So this is our first weapon we've ever had in the entire game that's going to give you the wind resistance. So that's now something that Aerith has that nobody else has at this point, right? So it's got the boost attack, our ability here, and the boost wind potency. So those are both pretty nice. Very, very good abilities to have for anything wind-based, because we know right now there's the event going on for the Secret Sweetheart, which is purely wind-based stuff. And then we have some interesting, very interesting support material here. So we have wind, we have physical ability damage plus 20%. We have wind ability damage plus 30%. And then we have a cure all. So this is a very, very, very spread mix of support abilities here. Very crazy weapon. Right? But that's not it. That's not the only thing that makes this weapon crazy. This is the first weapon in the entire game right now that does damage, does physical defense, lowers any kind of element, right? The resistance to an element, for only 3 ATB. It's only 3 instead of being 4. Like if you look at whale, like the whiskers, right? For Zack. That costs 4 ATB, and that does defense down 2 stacks, and it does 1 resist at level 90, right? This one's going to give you 2 to physical defense down, and wind resist at 3 ATB, which means it's just overall better, right? Insane. It's just absolutely insane. The boost attack here is really good, 32, but if you get it up to max, 54 boost attack and 36 wind potency. So it's literally on board with the same exact setup as Zack's Black Whiskers. Except this one has very similar setup. It's got the physical boost, which you're probably not going to do much with this. You're probably not going to use Aerith as a physical attacker. This will be a support option. But this is crazy, right? Because then you can still use this, throw an Aurora in here or something like that if you want, and she'll do pretty good damage, because she has a few options for physical, like the striking staff, but it's not that good, so I usually don't recommend it. And then you also have the option for the cure all. This is insane, and I'll tell you why this is insane, especially when you pair it with some other stuff, right? So this is already a pretty good weapon as it is. It's a fantastic support weapon. It covers so many things, right? But then we have to go over and look at Floral Gown. So Floral Gown, from what I've seen, this is crazy. This is crazy, especially on Aerith more than anybody. I'll tell you why. So not only does she have the boost HP, which is good as it is, right? It's always good to have boost HP, which is pretty standard on a lot of these. But it's got the buff, debuff, and buff extension, right? So at level, this is 10 points. So it starts off at 40%. If you can get 5 more points, you go up to 80%. That's 80% is nearly damn near double, right? That's pretty good. I have my opinion on what the best weapon in the game is, literally since it's been released, is the Sun Umbrella. Sun Umbrella, even now, is absolutely insane. It is a godlike weapon. I still say it's probably the best weapon in the game, this guy right here. Sun Umbrella is so good, right? So the reason why I'll tell you Sun Umbrella is so good, not only is it because of the abilities, like look at these R abilities, magic attack and boost magic ability potency. Because of this weapon right here, she can output more damage than Sephiroth does if they're just going for neutral. She can do more damage than Sephiroth. If they're just going for neutral, Sephiroth has no shot, right? And when I, or should I say, let me rephrase that. When they're going for using a materia, like a typing materia, that they don't have an ability for, right? So for instance, Sephiroth's really good with ice because he's got the frost blade. He's got edged wings, but Aerith, when it comes to just straight up damage, like say if you're trying to go something for, let's just say like lightning damage, Aerith's gonna win every time because she has these weapons. She has Sun Umbrella. But here's why Sun Umbrella is so good, and this is the best way I would phrase it for everybody, is when you use an ability that can lower physical defense or magic defense or whatever on anybody, right, on an enemy, you're essentially giving that debuff, you're essentially giving a buff to your entire party. So say if you use a physical defense down on an enemy, that's essentially giving the physical attack up on your entire party because your entire party is focusing on that one character or that one enemy versus just boosting the one person up, right? So say if I boost one character, only that character is going to get the benefit of that. But if I debuff an enemy, everybody benefits. And that's why Sun Umbrella is so good. It is still the only weapon in the entire game where you can lower physical defense and magic defense at the same exact time on an enemy while doing big damage, having fantastic R abilities, having pretty good, you got the magic boosts here. It's absolutely insane. So when you already have this, which lasts for 25 seconds, and you boost it with her gear, which is going to add an additional 40%, and if you have something, say like Yuffie, one of Yuffie's weapons on, or Red's, I'm sorry, no, just Yuffie's. Red's doesn't have one yet. You boost it up to 80%, you're going to get nearly 50 seconds. So it mathematically, probably looking about 44 seconds or so at 80%. You're going to get 44 seconds of that debuff, which means that's just more damage you're going to be able to pump out. And essentially, that's a party buff, right? Most enemies and most bosses that we fought, a lot of them, except for very, very few, are immune to defense down or magic defense down or whatever it might be, So it not only boosts your damage output, it's going to boost damage with your summons, your limits, because those apply both physical and magical damage. So it's just absolutely insane. Aerith's just getting even better than she was before, and it's crazy, right? It's crazy that they keep just making her better, but it's understandable because she's probably one of their big money makers, so I get it, right? Now, if you're saying, hey, Time, what banner should I pull on? Should I go for the Yuffie banner? Or should I go for the Aerith banner? Well, here's the thing. It's going to really depend on your position in the game. If you're a newer player, you don't have any big damage or anything like that, or you don't have a good piece of gear that matches with a good piece of good weapon, then I would say go ahead and do the Yuffie banner if you can only pick one, because at the end of the day, you need big damage, right, to get through content, and so she's going to give you that big damage with the gear and her outfit. However, if you've already got a good set of things, you already have, say you're using, you have Aerith's Wind outfit already, right? Or you have her Wind weapon really strong. Or you have the Sephiroth weapon really good, right? You have a good overboost, say overboost 6 or whatever, Dark Heavens. Then I would say, hey, you already kind of have most of that covered. Yes, this is good, but it's only going to give you a little bit more, not like a ton more. And I would say this is going to benefit you a lot more getting the Floral Wand because of, one, the wand itself is really good because of what it does, what it offers. And then two, the gear. Specifically, the gear is what, honestly, if you tie this in with Sun Umbrella, but even just the Floral Wand, right? It ties in well with that, or any other thing that you can have on Aerith where it's got a buff, or a debuff, or debuffs. Because as we've already seen, Aerith has a lot of other options where she can do buffs or debuffs, right? So she can put on, like if you look at Mithril Rod, it's got physical defense up, magic defense up buff for the entire party. And it's not very long. It's only like 10 to 12 seconds. So by increasing that, even doubling it, it adds that much more value to that weapon. So a lot of weapons that Aerith has, you're just going to gain more value. But that pretty much covers everything here. So hopefully that helps you guys decide what you want to do. Go with it. I think Aerith's banner is really good for. I think Aerith's banner is better for day one players who've already got a lot of damage output covered. whereas the Yuffie Banner is going to be better for newer players. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Keep rocking, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace!